WWE NXT Super Tuesday 2, where we'll see Finn Balor and Adam Cole battle it out for the vacant NXT Championship this evening. Thank you for tuning in and watching my live reactions play by play. I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool Hand Luke 96. As always, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Hit that thumbs up button. Share on social media. Hashtag WWE NXT. Chat questions and comments along with super chats and super stickers. Always greatly appreciated as well. Also tonight on NXT Super Tuesday 2, the second consecutive week for NXT on a Tuesday night. We'll see what the future holds for the WWE's yellow brand. Also, though, this evening, Rhea Ripley and Mercedes Martinez in a cage match, 2 singles matches as well, with Austin Theory and Bronson Reed, along with Roderick Strong and Killian Dane. About 10 minutes away from the top of the hour from the start of WWE NXT Super Tuesday 2 this evening. So once again, thank you for tuning in and watching. Also be sure to tune in tomorrow night for AEW Dynamite post Fallout edition from AEW All Out this past Labor Day weekend. Be sure to tune in to watch those live reactions play by play, as we'll discuss what they have planned throughout the evening coming up a little bit later on. However, on Thursday night, the NFL will kick off with the Houston Texans and Kansas City Chiefs. So also be sure to tune back in live right here on YouTube for more live reactions play by play, as football is finally back. I'm so excited, just can't hide it. And we'll kick things off, as college football has already kicked off over the past few weeks. We'll kick off the NFL on Thursday night into the weekend for the rest of week 1. So also have more live reactions play by play this weekend as well with the sport of football. So be sure to tune back in, like, follow, and subscribe on social media. As always, links in the description below. Scroll down, check those out. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and right here on YouTube. Hit that red subscribe button, hit that thumbs up button as well. Hashtag WWE NXT this evening when you share on social media. Chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers, always greatly appreciated. So throughout the evening, we'll discuss a little AEW, but we're going to save most of that for tomorrow night for AEW Dynamite, the post-Fallout edition from All Out this past weekend. But we will, in fact, preview what they have planned for the time being. I did just see moments ago that they added another match. Didn't look into that yet by any means, so we'll have to take a look at that in the meantime as well. But I do know for Dynamite tomorrow night, both Jon Moxley, who is still, after All Out on Saturday, still your AEW World Heavyweight Champion after defeating MJF. Your AEW World Heavyweight Champion, Jon Moxley, will speak on Dynamite tomorrow night, along with Matt Hardy, who took a very, very scary bump after a spear off of a lift, completely missing the table down below, hitting his head on the concrete. Reportedly went to the hospital, was then released. Details on all that, the whole situation, have been all over the place, to say the least. No one honestly knows what his status is at this point in time. So I assume that's why he will, in fact, be speaking tomorrow night on Dynamite. Somebody will probably come out and attack him. Potentially Sammy Guevara, who he defeated shortly then after, because they stopped the match but then restarted it on Saturday at All Out on pay-per-view. And All Out was an alright show. It wasn't bad. I mean, the last 3 matches saved the show, in my opinion. The Tag Team Championship match was the best match of the evening, followed by the Mimosa Mayhem match with your Devil God Chris Jericho and freshly squeezed Orange Cassidy, and then in the main event, Jon Moxley over MJF to reign as your AEW World Heavyweight Champion. So we'll see what the future holds for both Moxley and MJF moving forward, along with Jericho, as he's now going to be in a no DQ match tomorrow night with a fellow member of his in the Inner Circle, Jake Hager, formerly known as Jack Swagger, as they'll take on Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela, as Jericho defeated Janela last week on AEW, the go home for All Out last week. So that feud will continue for the time being, but we'll have to see what the future holds as well for Matt Hardy after his injury scare on Saturday at All Out. So be sure to tune back in for more live reactions, play live right here on YouTube tomorrow night for AEW Dynamite, the post-Fallout edition from All Out this past weekend. But yeah, Matt Hardy with a very, very scary injury, but as mentioned, reportedly went to the hospital, passed concussion protocol. They released him, but just everything with that situation's been all over the place. So we'll see what happens tomorrow night. Like I said, I would think somebody's going to come out and attack him to continue the feud with him and Sammy Guevara. If it is going to be potentially Sammy Guevara attacking from behind during his in-ring interview, his promo tomorrow night, but hell, they could even do it backstage, or maybe he'll be calling in via satellite, and he'll be at the Hardy compound in Cameron, North Carolina, with his wife Rebby, who's been all over social media the past few days, once again, as she normally is during these situations. But hey, that's just a spouse making sure that their other is doing well, and you know that the factual, true story is out and about, rather than just all these rumors floating around, to say the least. So I would think with Hardy's interview tomorrow night, as he'll speak on Dynamite tomorrow, Sammy Guevara will come out and attack, and then they'll continue their feud post their Broken Rules match at All Out from this past Saturday. Basically a last man standing match, as I stated, and as they also stated during All Out on Saturday. Like I said, that was a decent show. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but it wasn't that great either. Honestly, it was probably the worst pay-per-view that AEW has had so far to this point in the year and a half existence of the company, which honestly really isn't, saying that much, to be honest with you. To a good extent, on a good level, just because basically all their pay-per-views, so far to this point have been pretty damn good. And I get every once in a while you're going to have a bad one, or one that, wasn't as good as, the previous ones. But, life goes on, and, they're going to be on, TV tomorrow night and week in and week out. Next Thursday, the 17th, they'll be on the TNT. So the schedule is going to be all over the place next week and a half, 2 weeks, once again, due to the NBA and NHL playoffs. That's why NXT is on a Tuesday night once again tonight for NXT Super Tuesday, and we should be getting started here very, very shortly at the top of the hour now, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, here on the good old East Coast in the good old United States of America. So thank you for tuning in and watching. As mentioned, it'll be Finn Balor and Adam Cole tonight for the NXT Championship, as the 60-minute Iron Man match that concluded at the end of NXT last week. That was a fatal four-way with Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano, Finn Balor, and Adam Cole. After that ended in a tie, we now have a sudden death NXT Championship match that, as far as I know, will in fact be kicking off the show this evening instead of main eventing, even though it is a main event worthy match any day of the week, with arguably two of the best wrestlers in the world, with Finn Balor and Adam Cole, baby. So Finn Balor, Adam Cole, NXT Championship match this evening. Let me know in the comments below who you have winning that, along with Rhea Ripley, Mercedes Martinez in a cage fight, a cage match once again on NXT. We'll have to see if it looks similar to the Matt Riddle, Timothy Thatcher cage match that they had on NXT a few months back, but then also a few singles matches as well. And then I would assume they'll add in, some promos and vignettes and interviews backstage, to say the least, like they normally do. Potentially another fill-in match with the women's division, or even the tag team, with only 4 matches being advertised. I mean, the NXT Championship match with Balor and Cole is going to take up, I would assume, I would think about a half hour, if not a little bit more, with potentially a split screen commercial or two in between. So we're now going to kick off WWE NXT Super Tuesday 2 now this evening. WWE Then Now Forever, as always, for the opening video package. But Adam Cole, Finn Balor, the main talking point for the NXT Championship this evening. Rhea Ripley, Mercedes Martinez, Austin Theory. And now we hit up NXT Super Tuesday 2. Super Tuesday. And Mercedes called out Rhea, and then Rhea accepted, as Mercedes is a part of the Robert Stone brand, Tony Khan in WWE. WWE's Tony Khan. And she's also rumored to be a potential member of WWE Retribution as well on Monday Night Raw. But now there's the ending to the Fatal 4-Way 60-minute Iron Man match that Balor and Cole tied. And we'll have to see if it is going to end 1, 2, 3. Baby, Balor and Cole. Like I said, as far as I know, this will be kicking off the show tonight rather than main eventing. That's the case. But NXT Super Tuesday 2, and there is Vic Joseph and Bad News Wade Barrett once again on commentary for WWE NXT. Beth Phoenix will be audio only from her home as well. Balor, a former NXT champion in his own right, taking on the longest reigning NXT champion ever in NXT history. A very interesting night, to say the least. A good night, for that matter. Especially with a championship match kicking things off. Shock the system. Adam Cole coming out. Fish and O'Reilly really haven't done a whole lot lately. Roderick Strong floating around in singles, as mentioned later on tonight. So there's been some rumors floating around, potentially, yes, with the Undisputed Era finally getting called up to the main roster. But if they stay in NXT, is now the right time to pull the trigger, so to speak, and break up the boom. And William Regal in the ring with the title. He's in the corner with our ring announcer and referee. Following Finn Balor, Adam Cole once again kicking off the night. NXT Super Tuesday 2, and the 2 is sort of a double so Finn Balor, Adam Cole being introduced. It's been using right before his injury with Scarlett. The 2 in NXT Super Tuesday 2 is like a double once, even after just relinquishing against Keith Lee, separating his shoulder. Does that mean by any means, he'll be returning, sometime soon, or not? I mean, only time's going to tell. We'll find out and see. I highly doubt it. I mean, they'll bring him back, when he's healthy and when the time's right. And then in the meantime, have either Cole or Balor, once again, that being Finn Balor once again. So we'll see what happens. Bell rings, match underway, and they're going at it in the middle of the ring right now, with Balor having Cole in a headlock now, middle of the ring. Regardless of who wins this moving forward on NXT as your NXT champion, I'd be fine with who came to the company. His feuds with Nakamura and Samoa Joe, I mean, that's old school NXT, even though it's only, you know, half a decade ago, which is going by here over the past few years, and this year as well here in 2020. So hopefully everyone's doing all right. Shoulder tackle from Balor on through. Hit that thumbs up button once again as well. Hashtag NXT title now when you share on social media. But then as a possibility, I mean, I honestly really wouldn't be surprised there if they did that around last week, that it was going to end in a tie, the Fatal 4-way 60-minute Iron Man match. I wasn't expecting that at all, but hey, that's, you know, what they decided to do, and that's, you know, the road they went down, and so they draw this out, and here tonight for the NXT title. So they're also potentially could be a interference from Pat McAfee, from what I've heard, just to continue the feud with Cole. And they haven't done anything until obviously just recently. But then all that goes away over the past few weeks now, and Cole's still, you know, somewhat still a heel, as is Balor. So depending on how this match plays out and how it finishes, you know, we'll get a clearer picture at that point. Obviously, a little bit later on then. So it's always interesting. And there's September, Susan G. Komen for October next month. And Balor seems to be so far here having the most control against Adam Cole. But Cole just had a drop kick right to the face. It's the Prince and the Bebe. NXT Championship. Cole with a chop. I believe this is a new official referee as well, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I've ever seen this guy before. Or maybe if he has been on TV or whatever the case, after... and Finn's got some new tattoos, I see, as well, on his right forearm, if I'm not mistaken. So we head to a... actually, our first split-screen commercial. And Cole now, during the split-screen commercial, gaining control over Finn, as they're both trying to recapture. Finn then got called to the main roster, won the Universal title in 2016, got hurt, never got back to that point, and then last October, hard to believe, that's coming up on a year now. Neck breaker from Adam Cole in the meantime. Finn Balor comes back down to NXT. He's had a few good feuds since, putting some talent over, but winning in the process. Balor winning those matches on TV and TakeOver pay-per-views. And now he's in another championship match, so... Adam Cole wins. I'm not going to be mad by either. You know, because like I said, I like both these guys. I could, you know, honestly really care less who wins. I just want a good wrestling match. And want a good story, you know, following this with whoever the hell they'll put up against, either Finn Balor or Adam Cole, for, you know, following tonight. So it's always interesting, you know, like I always say, but they're still going to do what they want, so it is what it is. But we'll go back from this split-screen commercial past few minutes. Reverses and almost there, went for a quick roll-up, but then Balor with another drop kick. So sort of back to an even playing field with Balor gaining control once again with an elbow right to the back of the head, it looks like. Right shoulder of Adam Cole now in a headlock. on the takedown. Ref, I think that was NXT last week, if I'm not mistaken. You could hear the ref literally asking, or it might have been AEW. It was one of them. I think it was NXT last Tuesday. Regardless, the ref kept asking whoever it was, Adam Cole off the ropes and Finn with a back out. If anybody is experiencing any technical difficulties, please let me know in the comments below, as it has over the past few weeks. So if you are in fact experiencing some difficulties, play of the and you watch the split screen commercial and watch the match continue, you don't need to see that replay. But I get people that, you know, would have went away and not watched it. They didn't see that then, so they got to show the replay. Kick out at 2 by Adam Cole. Now throwing Cole into the corner. That had to hurt. Finn now off the ropes with another drop kick right to the head. Cover 1, 2. Also tonight, steel cage match. A battle of the badasses in NXT. Rhea Ripley and Mercedes Martinez of the AEW NXT Tony Khan, Robert Stone brand. Finn with a few more chops as Cole walks from corner to corner now. Let's go Balor chants. It seems like the Full Sail Live crowd in Orlando's not hearing a whole lot for Adam Cole. But maybe if somebody, say McAfee or the Undisputed Era comes out, you know, then at that point Adam Cole might have either some he might have some support, but if it was McAfee, it'd be, hey, Bay on the mic, and with the distraction, Finn, you know, picks up the win. McAfee's gonna come out and interfere. That, I don't think that's gonna happen whatsoever. It would just be stupid, but if that's what they want to do, so be it. Now McAfee, yeah, like I said at TakeOver 30, put on one hell of a show. Honestly, surprised myself along with everybody else, I think. You know, it wouldn't be bad. I mean, it'd be a good story, but it'd be just dragging it out and beating a dead horse. Cole with a few kicks, and now Balor trying to reverse with an elbow. And good backstabber there from Adam Cole with the double knee. 1-2 kick out of them by Finn. So now back and forth with both of these former. Adam Cole hit the running knee, kick out at 2. A very, very good sequence there before the kick out. Back and forth, Finn with the drop kick, and then was going to go for the coup de grace, but Adam Cole reversed it, hit a running knee, and then kick out at 2. Now Cole exposing the right knee off the ropes. Finn now with that stomp right to the chest on the reversal. Cole rolling back and forth now in the ring. Finn holding on to the top rope, just stomping Adam Cole all to hell. Ref tells him to back off, and then Finn with a drop kick through the middle rope. They're fighting ringside now, right in front of the NXT independent barricade, the house show barricade, as I say. Finn rolling out in and out of the ring for the stoppage. Now Cole sitting in the timekeeper's area, sitting in a chair. And Finn now going to go for a drop kick, super kick from Adam Cole on the reversal. Both guys now down and out ringside, and it seems like they're going to go to another split screen commercial. And yes, in fact, they do go to another split screen commercial. So two of those during this opening contest here this evening. So once again, thank you for tuning in and watching. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. I believe about a 3 or 4 count now from the official. Make that 5, if I'm not mistaken. So they'll both probably get in the ring at 9. The count, yeah. Cole gets in first, and then Balor right behind him. They both make the count, so match will in fact continue. Top left-hand corner once again. Split screen commercial, WWE NXT Super Tuesday 2, and hopefully here sometime soon, very, very shortly, the next, I would think, 10 minutes or so. If you are in fact watching on playback and you want to, fast forward a little bit, we'll have a new NXT champion here sometime soon. And also, too, by the way, it was brought to my attention last week with, at the beginning, the first 10 or so minutes, with myself not honestly really doing anything on camera other than just sitting here and doing what I have to do personally with the edit side of things, with the thumbnail and tags, and also promoting that on social media once I go live and get things going here on YouTube. That's the reasoning for that. But then also I've noticed for the playback aspect of these live streams right here on YouTube as well. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. That for some of the most recent ones, for some reason, I honestly don't know why. Now I get the disconnect and then the reconnect, but as both now Cole and Balor are going at it, rights and lefts, back and forth in the middle of the ring. Cole with a kick. Time-wise, there's been a few minutes, and for some even more than, we'll say, 10 or 15 minutes, that for some reason have got cut out once the stream gets uploaded, and then with the processing and the HD part of it, watching on playback on YouTube. So I'll have to check into that. Like I said, I honestly don't know why honestly it's doing that, but it is in fact, if you're watching on playback at any point down the road. Balor with a coup de grace. Cole moves out of the way. Cole with another super kick right to the right knee, though, of Finn Balor. Now going to go for a figure 4 in the middle of the ring. And then we'll probably have a reversal. And then potentially an interference of some sorts before the go home, I would think. Ref asking Finn, hey, you want to quit? No. But yeah, it's been cutting out some time throughout the whole live stream at that point then on the playback once it's officially processed and uploaded then following the live edition of the live stream. So that's only for playback, but yeah, that was also brought to my attention. So like I said, I'll check into that, because I honestly don't know why it's doing that. It shouldn't, because we're live as live can get right now. We're live, pal. We're live, folks. So we'll have to see what the reasoning is behind all of that. But nonetheless, NXT Super Tuesday 2, another sling blade from Finn. Finn now going to go for another drop kick in the corner. Has Cole in position for a coup de grace now. The last time they tried to do this, Cole hit the reversal right then and there with the running knee, and the match would then in fact continue until this point, of course, because we are still in fact going strong for the NXT title. Coup de grace connects off the top rope from Finn, and Balor now holding his left leg. Cover 1, 2, and Adam Cole kicks out at 2.5, just due to the fact Balor didn't hit the cover 1, 2, 3 right off the bat. He waited a few seconds before covering and pinning Adam Cole before the kick out, but the coup de grace did in fact connect. So Balor, for the most part now, because Cole hasn't hit any of his finishers or signature moves by any means. Balor in full control, but right off the bat here with the reversal, Adam Cole 1-2 with the cover on the figure 4 submission once again. So back and forth, good match. Hashtag NXT title when you share on social media. Reversal, and then Cole rolls it through once again. So figure 4 still in. And Cole actually gets out of it on his own. And now he's going to put it in again. Quick roll up though in the middle of the ring. 1, 2, kick out once again by Adam Cole. Super kick from Cole to Finn Balor. Adam Cole off the ropes. Knee to the back of the head. Cover. 1, 2. Kick out at 2.5 once again by Finn Balor. And the Panama City Playboy was that close to becoming NXT champion once again. We had a super kick. It is running knee. Good match to kick off NXT tonight. Very, very good match. Hopefully the rest of the show will also deliver. With the cage fight, the cage match with Rhea and Mercedes, and the 2 singles matches as well. Balor catches Cole, has him on his shoulders. Gonna go for a DDT. No, Cole drives him into the corner. 1916 connects, but Balor does in fact go down with some pain in his left leg, his left knee. And Cole, in the meantime, Balor has him in another position for another coup de grace. So 2 coup de graces compared to, well, Cole in the meantime gets up and hits another kick to the head. So Cole with a reversal now as he's on the ring apron climbing up. They're both going to be on the top rope. Seems like this will end, or maybe not. I was going to say maybe this spot will go ringside, but no, they're both standing on the top rope now in the corner. And a 1916 from Finn Balor off the top rope. Cover 1, 2, 3, and the Prince is your NXT champion. Finn Balor is once again NXT champion. Finn Balor defeats Adam Cole during NXT Super Tuesday 2 in a sudden death NXT Championship match, finishing up from the fatal 4-way 60-minute Iron Man match last Tuesday night with Balor, Cole, Ciampa, and Gargano. And then in singles tonight, because of the tie between the 2 of them last week, Finn Balor 1, 2, 3 after a 1916 DDT off the top rope defeats Adam Cole, baby. And the Prince is once again your NXT champion. So I would think at some point down the road, and we didn't have any interference by any means, you know, like I said, I didn't think we would, but, you know, I wouldn't be shocked if we did, you know, just because, you know, how they play things out, you know, every now and then. You know, we had no interference from Pat McAfee, no interference from the Undisputed Era. So Cole loses clean 1, 2, 3. So does that mean maybe they're going to be called up to the main roster during the next draft or a shakeup? Potentially, yes. Now, but you know, maybe they also keep him in NXT for the time being, and you know, have Cole go up against Damian Priest, but Priest is tied up with Timothy Thatcher and Bronson Reed right now, along with Cameron Grimes. But you know, honestly, what the hell else do they have to do for the Undisputed Era in NXT? There isn't anything. They've done everything with them. So call them up. Call up Cole. Call up Fish. Call up Kyle O'Reilly. Along with Roderick Strong and the Prince is your new NXT champion in the meantime, staring us down from up above on the camera shot with the NXT championship around his waist. This is, well, we're going to lead into a Rhea Ripley promo now backstage before the cage match that will probably main event the show now, to be honest with you. But this will lead into a potential feud with Finn Balor and Karrion Kross for the NXT title once Kross is able to return following his shoulder injury. Tonight, Battle of the Badasses, a steel cage match, Rhea Ripley and Mercedes Martinez. That should be the main event now, NXT Super Tuesday 2. There's the NXT Tony Khan, Robert Stone. And we'll head to a commercial break. We'll fade to black, go to commercial break. Still 3 more advertised matches. We could have another fill-in or, you know, promo or a vignette or a backstage interview like we always do, as mentioned earlier, you know, at some point, you know, during the show tonight as well. But with Balor, your new NXT champion, once again, it takes me to, you know, a potential return of the Demon of some point down the road too, but a Finn Balor Karrion Kross feud once he's able to return, because the separated shoulder that he injured at TakeOver 30 against Keith Lee in the main event there for the title, that he then had to relinquish 2 weeks ago now. That's why we had the Fatal 4-Way 60-minute Iron Man match last week. That concluded now tonight after the tie with Finn Balor defeating Adam Cole. The injury there, not as significant as they once thought, not as serious. So, you know, he could be back, you know, within, you know, hell, he might show up next week. Might show up later tonight, for God's sakes, for all we know. I would doubt that right now, but you never know. I would think within the next 3 months, maybe, you know, the next TakeOver event, whenever the hell that's going to be, I would think at some point, you know, by the end of the year. And then you have November, December, sometime until, you know, next WrestleMania season with that TakeOver event, WrestleMania weekend next year. Unless, obviously, yeah, plans change, but that's, you know, a long ways, you know, down the road still. So, with Balor winning, you know, it's going to set up the main feud. It'll be Balor Kross. They'll have him face a few, because he hasn't been NXT champion in quite a while, you know, almost 5 years. So there's a lot of talent in NXT now that, you know, he's honestly never faced in the WWE for the NXT championship. So they'll have him, you know, face a few guys in between. Maybe another Velveteen Dream match. Maybe they throw in Ciampa and Gargano again. Kushida's still in NXT. They really haven't done a whole lot with him lately. Trying to think off the top of my head who could potentially face Finn Balor now for the NXT Championship after the Prince just defeated Adam Cole, baby, to become your new NXT Champion here tonight. NXT Super Tuesday 2 once again. So thank you for tuning in and watching. I mean, those are the ones that I just named off that come to mind. If they want to go, you know, down the road of maybe if Kross is healthy now, you know, and it was only a few week injury, but he still couldn't defend the title, and they wanted to do this in the meantime, you know, to get viewers because they're going to be on Tuesday nights, you know, maybe right off the bat, you know, do Balor and Kross. It'd be better for the brand though to have, you know, them hold off on that and, you know, wait until, you know, the time's right and have Balor defeat, you know, a few other guys in the meantime. Or there's probably somebody in NXT that's been training that they really haven't used a whole lot on TV, maybe not even debuted for that matter. Or maybe somebody that they recently just signed that's a hot name on the independent circuit that, you know, will come in and face, you know, Balor then for the title. They go down that road, you know. But it'll probably be, you know, Dream, Ciampa, Gargano, and then Kross at some point. I mean, you would think, unless, you know, plans change from now until the next draft shakeup, and hell, they all get called up, or maybe, you know, a few guys from the main roster then come back down to NXT. You know, I wouldn't mind, you know, another feud with Balor and Samoa Joe, Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro, champions versus champions match next week on Monday Night Raw versus the Street Profits, non-title match. Yeah, they'll probably unify those tag team titles at the next Clash of Champions pay-per-view at the end of the month, or at some point down the road. But then that'll screw up the whole tag team division, and tag team division as a whole right now, along with the women's division, for God's sakes, all screwed up as it is. So they really wouldn't be doing themselves a favor by any means in that regard. So you know, maybe Cole gets another rematch. You know, I don't know. There's Breezango as William Regal and Triple H congratulate Finn Balor, and then Adam Cole from behind with a handshake, and then they too sweet. Love to see that. Triple H, hey, congrats. You're the NXT champion once again. And NXT, somebody's going to walk up to him here, it looks like. NXT is going old school. NXT is going back to their roots with NXT having Finn Balor once again as its champion. And now NXT's Tony Khan being interviewed backstage. Robert Stone of the Robert Stone brand. There's Shotzi Blackheart's tank that Stone actually got run over by a few different times. And now he's got a baseball bat, but Shotzi rolls up and face to face. They then attack Shotzi from behind. That's Aaliyah, if I'm not mistaken. And why is Io Shirai there? Why is Io just standing literally in the middle of nowhere? Okay, so Aaliyah takes out Shotzi with the attack from behind, and then Io standing there takes out her as well. And now they're literally right next to the well, now in the middle of the ring, Io and Shotzi surrounding Aaliyah in the middle of the ring. They're right next to ringside in the backstage area there in the one corner. And Robert Stone was going to take a baseball bat to Shotzi's tank. And now here comes Robert Stone off the top rope. And this dude's a joke. Like, come on. It's pathetic. The Tony Khan brand. And AEW is doing a little bit better than what the Robert Stone brand's been doing on NXT as of late, as Io and Shotzi take them both out off the top rope. But yeah, Shotzi came up face to face. He tried to hide the baseball bat, fist bump, no, and Aaliyah then, Shotzi taking the title from Io, but then Io grabs it. So a tease there for a potential NXT Women's Championship feud with Io Shirai and Shotzi Blackheart that a lot of people probably wouldn't mind, to be honest with you. So potentially, yeah, they'll have that on NXT TV over the next few weeks or so, with Io Shirai defending her NXT Women's title against Shotzi Blackheart. Asuka next week on Monday Night Raw as well. 2 Monday Night Raw championship matches next week on the Red Brand side of things, as we now go to Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae at their home with a vignette promo here. Trust me, you know, do this for me, and then the doorbell rings. So who's going to be at the door? Who's going to be at the front door? Somebody going to attack? Gargano going to open the door, puts on his fake smile, and whoever the hell this is. No pizza? Up top, down low, too slow, and Johnny Gargano pulling some dad jokes. And now the Garganos are going to have some dinner, it looks like. Tegan Knox now sitting down at the table. Tegan coming over for supper with the Garganos. And a very, very weird silence. Ooh, Ms. and Mrs. is coming back. What will happen next? New episodes in November. Ms. and Mrs. returning. Alright. Tune in and watch that. But they tease Io and Shotzi for the NXT Women's title, which, like I said, I wouldn't mind personally, probably, but along with everyone else, I don't think a lot of people would mind that, because it's going to make Io look even stronger as your women's champ, you know, moving forward. No, but Asuka and Mickie James next week for the Raw Women's title on Raw. And then Street Profits, Cesaro, Nakamura. Non-title champion versus champion tag team championship match with those two tag teams. No, but yeah, that segment there, following the NXT Championship match, I mean, we had the congratulations, you know, backstage with Regal and Triple H with Finn Balor, and then Adam Cole as well, too sweet. But then that led into NXT's Tony Khan, Robert Stone, being interviewed, about to take the baseball bat to Shotzi's tank. She comes up, attacks him, but then Aaliyah from behind attacking her, and then Io's literally standing in the middle of nowhere, like right behind a curtain. And I think she popped out like a second too early, and then she got knocked down. And then they chased, because they were, you know, right there, ringside, sort of in the backstage area there in the corner. They chased Aaliyah into the ring and surrounded her, took her out, and then in comes Robert Stone off the top rope. Long story short, they take them both out, and then they tease Io and Shotzi for the NXT Women's title. So still to come, those two single matches with Austin Theory and Bronson Reed, which Bronson Reed was just backstage when Cole was congratulating Balor, when Regal and Triple H were also there. So Theory Reed could potentially be next, but then we also still have Roderick Strong and Killian Dane, and then tonight's main event with Rhea Ripley and Mercedes Martinez, and tonight's cage fight, tonight's cage match, a battle of the badasses. So should be interesting. I mean, it's been a good episode of NXT so far to this point. If you are in fact enjoying, be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Also share hashtag WWE NXT on social media. Chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers, always greatly appreciated as well. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. And be sure to also tune back in tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time as well for AEW Dynamite live reactions. Play tomorrow night's AEW Dynamite post Fallout edition from AEW All Out this past weekend, where we will in fact have full results from the show, but still to come tonight, we'll preview what they have planned so far to this point for tomorrow night. And now back to NXT. Timothy Thatcher cutting a promo. Looks like he's in a storage unit of some sorts, talking to a few folks that are seated in chairs. It's like he's leading a AA meeting in a rural area, but he's also, yeah, he's basically teaching a wrestling class here with some video footage of Damian Priest. That's all this is. But it looks like it's in the storage unit. And yeah, it'll be Priest and Thatcher for the NXT North American title because they teased this 2 weeks ago. Thatcher was in action last week, if I'm not mistaken. And now with this Velveteen Dream on NXT now. Being booed a little bit. There's been some tension regarding him over the past few months or so. Fans have been signing petitions to have the WWE release Patrick Clark, the Velveteen Dream, but obviously they're trying to prove a point, which I totally get. I understand that. So they're keeping him on TV, and it looks like Velveteen Dream, yeah, okay. He's going to be in action next against The Adonis, if I'm not mistaken, is this guy's name. Velveteen Dream going to defeat a jobber tonight on NXT, and we'll leave it at that. Dream, like I said, could be a match for even Priest, or I mean, you would think Balor right off the bat, because that one would be bad. They've had some history as of late. But yeah, Damian Priest, Timothy Thatcher for the next North American title. I mean, they teased Io and Shotzi. Candice LeRae's in the mix for that, though, too, along with Rhea and Mercedes Martinez. So there's a lot that they could do with the women's title. Breezango as your new NXT Tag Team Champs. Really haven't done anything with them, since they won those a few weeks back. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, Finn Balor, your new NXT Champion, defeating Adam Cole this evening. And Dream, after the bell rings, waits a few seconds, and then hitting a few rights and lefts with a kick, having putting his opponent in the corner now before being clotheslined a few times by whoever the hell this guy is. I believe this guy's name is... They're going to have Velveteen Dream and Kushida in a feud. Kushida now ringside. Dream trying to pull him back in the ring, but Kushida with the reversal in the corner right on the steel post. Shoulder first. So maybe this could potentially... on Dream in the corner. Finally lets go, as he's going to be walked off by the refs. Kushida standing tall after attacking Velveteen Dream. After Dream's match, and then we were going to get a promo, but he didn't even get the chance to talk. Now Breezango with a promo as your NXT Tag Team Champs. The Fashion Police. Fandango throwing his title. Has to get up, go get it. Prince Pretty and Fandango defeated Imperium a few weeks back to become new champs. Imperium's going to be back on NXT UK a week from Thursday. As we see some highlights from that match a few weeks back with them becoming your new NXT Tag Team Champions. And, I mean, honestly, it'd be smart to keep these titles on for quite a while. Last I checked, last I thought. So, unless I'm totally forgetting somebody. I mean, I get the Undisputed Era, I get Imperium, but NXT UK, main roster call-up, who else is left? You have Bot in 6-man tag team action with the Cruiserweight champion and Santos Escobar. So, I mean, maybe that, but nobody else, honestly, in NXT right now, in my opinion. That could very well, challenge, Fashion Police Breezango for the tag team titles.
The shortest NXT tag team title reign in history. Imperium?
Next Wednesday, NXT Tag Team Championship match. It'll be Breezango and Imperium. That's Imperium's rematch. Austin Theory, Bronson Reed during NXT Super Tuesday 2, the second and final for the time being NXT on a Tuesday night. Back to Wednesday night next week. AEW tomorrow night, but then AEW next Thursday due to the NBA playoffs once again. So the schedule for both still all over the place for the time being, but here NXT, unless NXT off of Wednesday nights, 2 Tuesday nights on USA, or maybe even, because hell, they have the replay from NXT Super Tuesday last Wednesday head-to-head with AEW on Sci-Fi. So maybe they put them on Sci-Fi. I would think if they're going to move them, they'll keep them on USA. And then there will be takeover events and pay-per-views. And then AEW will still be Wednesday nights on TNT, and then, your 4 or 5 pay-per-views with all the wrestling, every few months on Saturday nights. As Full Gear will be returning Saturday, November the 7th, as they announced that this past weekend during All Out. So, we'll, as mentioned during AEW.
It's a Cheetos day. Do you push through 4 or more migraine days a month? Mom, are you okay to play? Absolutely.
During AEW Dynamite Live Reactions play tomorrow night. Once again, sorry for any technical difficulties. I know it's buffering and disconnecting and reconnecting. We'll recap AEW All Out, but so far up to this point,
2 favorites, 1 bot. Hi, Johnson. Cold brew today.
CoverGirl, clean, fresh female. Formally.
Matt Hardy will also speak following his injury scare. Once again, sorry for any technical difficulties with the buffer, disconnect and reconnect. A no disqualification match with Chris Jericho and Jake Hager taking on Joey Janela and Sonny Kiss, along with Brody Lee defending his TNT championship against Cody's brother in Goldust, Dustin Rhodes. What else do we have on tap for AEW Dynamite now tomorrow night? Oh, yeah. Kip Sabian is also going to announce Best Man for his wedding. He'll probably get attacked, I would think, by somebody. It'll be one of those wedding segments of some sorts. Engagement. You got to figure out your wedding party, and he's going to announce his Best Man tomorrow night on AEW. We also have new AEW Tag Team Champions and FTR, FTRS, the Revival, as they were once known in the WWE. Elite Saga will continue with the young. AEW's got a stacked lineup so far to this point for Dynamite now, play-by-play. We're back to NXT, though, in the meantime. We're at the Gargano household with Knox, who has come over to visit to have some dinner. And, they've been sort of been butting heads. Gargano be with us.
This is me. It's what always been.
And honestly, both of these women as well, I know I named off Candice, but Tegan as well, along with Dakota Kai, who's going to be in the mix for EO's NXT Women's title. So we'll see what. Happy for Kushida. Finally put Kushida back on TV. Austin Theory, Bronson Reed, could honestly care less about both. Theory was up on the main roster. He was a disciple of Seth Rollins. Got into some trouble. Kept him off TV. Bring him back down to NXT then a few weeks back. And, you know, maybe he's one for Finn Balor. Maybe he's one for Damian Priest. All Bronson Reed is another Otis, as stated numerous times before. And they need to do something with Otis as Mr. Money in the Bag, but honestly, they probably won't until they absolutely have to. And, you know, that'll drag out until May then of next year. Maybe he cashes in on the new tribal chief, the big dog Roman Reigns, your new Universal Champion. If he does cash in, Reigns needs to beat the shit out of him. And that'll, you know, get him over even more as a heel champ, which people would like, regardless if you like Reigns. But as a singles match now, coming up next on NXT Super Tuesday 2. Bell rings, match underway. Theory puts the Bull Dempsey Otis in a headlock. That's Bronson Reed. Reed throws Theory off the ropes. Heard from someone the other day that, yeah, Bronson Reed reminds them a little bit of Jeff Cobb, who, yes, did in fact make an appearance with AEW, but did not end up signing. NXT's been going after him too. The thing is, Jeff Cobb is 10 times better than all three of them combined. So, I mean, they might just be putting Otis and Bronson in this position. And as I was saying, I would think Bronson's going to win this, but I could honestly care less. Theory missed with a kick, and then a elbow drop off the middle rope from Bronson. Yeah, we had a shoulder tackle, and then Theory went for a drop kick, if I'm not mistaken, completely missed, and then Bronson with an elbow drop off the middle rope.
And Bronson Reed trying to, I guess you'd say, teach a lesson to Austin Theory and respect that both of you have brought up as Theory brought it the hard way. And Bronson Reed
headlock middle of the ring. Coming up on under an hour now for NXT this evening. It's past the 9 o'clock hour. Show is flying by. Been a good show so far at this point. I mean, this match and then Roddy and Killian. I mean, these matches are just on the card for the hell of it. I mean, the NXT Championship match, the Io Shotzi segment with the NXT Tony Khan, and the Gargano household segment with Tegan Knox. Those have been your points. Those have been your best moments of the night so far. You know, Rhea promo backstage for the cage fight. That's just hyping that up. I'm sure we'll get a Mercedes Martinez promo of some sorts coming up shortly too. But then you have these, you know, two matches that right now don't mean anything, but maybe could mean something in a few weeks if they play their cards right. Shoulder tackle running off the ring apron from Bronson Reed, taking out Austin Theory ringside. Heads us into another split screen commercial by saying This is NXT Super Tuesday 2, and here we are. Third or maybe even fourth, lost count, I think it's the third, split screen commercial of the evening with Bronson Reed and Austin Theory. Now, hell, even the Breezango segment, their promo with the titles before their championship match with Imperium again next week, that was even good. You know, so like I'd rather have the two matches once we get the cage match, the Io Shotzi segment, you know, backstage, ringside in the ring. Oh hell, Balor being congratulated by everybody backstage as well, including Regal, Triple H, and Adam Cole. Maybe that's I mean, we had the too sweet at the end. Maybe that's a sign off for Adam Cole in NXT. Maybe that'll be. You know, I'd rather have a few segments like that. You know, those two matches, the promo, the backstage thing, with Bounce they've done compared to having basically two slipper. Two sleeper matches, and I don't mean sleep. The match once you coming back from split screen, they paused once again like they did last week, like sort of faded to black before they're about ready to come back in. But we're gonna stick with a split screen commercial in the meantime. A sleeper commercial, not, you know, in a good way, not underrated by any means. A match that wants you and makes you want to fall asleep, if that makes sense. Like, literally, I'm surprised I haven't shut my eyes yet with this match and the upcoming match that hasn't even started by any means. But unless, like I said, they play their cards right and they play this out, you know, over the next few weeks or months, and then, you know, they build it right, and whoever wins this, whoever wins the other match, you know, they propel them, you know, higher on up the card and potentially in a championship feud. Because, like I said, hell, even the Kushida segment with attacking Drew, you know, sort of turn him heel. They sort of turned Kushida heel with the attack before, you know, having to be escorted off by the officials. So, and like I said, maybe that's the #1 contendership match, as AEW is going to do. I'm thinking once they finally split up Omega and Hangman, because leaving Daly's place in Jacksonville, and the Elite's basically done, split up in their own separate thing now. You know, have Kushida win and have Kushida go up against Finn Balor before Karrion Kross comes back. Maybe they're only going to do one opponent for Balor before Kross instead of 3 or 4. Bronson Reed in full control here. Austin Theory. Moan drop and a kick out. He is, don't get me wrong. I mean, yeah, I get the off the field, out of the ring, all that stuff that's been going on with him. But he really doesn't have any emotion. He doesn't have any charisma by any means. Like, he's bland. Like, he doesn't... And a reversal there on the DDT into a back body drop kick match will once again continue. Check in on some notifications here if we got any breaking news as we did last week. Hashtag Fire Velveteen Dream once again breaks out over social media during WWE NXT. And Billy Donovan fired by the Oklahoma City Thunder as well.
truth be told, better not know that.
We'll have to match saw a sign of respect between you and Finn and a handshake. Take us through that moment.
Well, I do have respect for football. I mean, considering the fact we both went through the exact same 60-minute Iron Man match last week.
Cole interview backstage, just disappointed that he lost, but the better man and Finn Balor did in fact win. Has a ton of respect for Finn, especially coming off of the Iron Man match that they had with Ciampa and Gargano as well last week. But
Simple Mobile knows people want simple, especially now. Unlimited talk, text, and data for $30 a month on a powerful nationwide 5G network with no contract or activation fees. Visit simplemobile.com 24/7 to get your service. Simple Mobile, out with the full, in with the simple.
as I was saying, once again, I know it's buffering, I know it's disconnecting, I know it's reconnecting, so sorry for any technical difficulties, but also, as I was saying, with Billy Donovan out as the OKC Thunder's head coach in the NBA, maybe he goes back down to the college ranks. He won 2 national titles with the Florida Gators down in Gainesville at the Swamp back in 06 and 07. Almost took the Magic job, but then came back and has been with the Thunder for the past few years. And they've gone to the playoffs, but in the meantime, after Scott Brooks, they've lost Kevin Durant, they've lost James.
Order ahead for quick and easy pickup. Boom! That's freshly made, baby. Get a free football when you buy 2. Subway. Ain't fresh. All right, I brought in Ensure Max Protein to give you the protein you need with less of the sugar you don't.
They still lost, and that's all that anybody ever remembers. So Billy Donovan's contract expired, was not fired. Contract expired, and both sides decided not to extend. So Billy Donovan out as the Thunder head coach. Honestly, don't know off the top of my head right now, who could be a candidate for that job. I get Steve Nash just got the Nets job. Rumor is Popovich's mansion in San Antonio is for sale, so everybody's thinking he's going to be leaving or retiring. Maybe Tyronn Lue for the Thunder job. Philly's open too, so it'll all depend on what happens in the bubble for the NBA, and then moving forward with head coaches and assistant coaches. But with everything going on in the world here in 2020, with as tough as things have gotten, and it'll be interesting to see what does in fact happen, with all these sports and all these jobs are going to potentially open up, at some point down the road. Because coming a few months we'll have the coaching carousel for football, and that's nothing new. Just for all the sports, baseball, basketball, hockey, football, the list goes on and on and on. So just happy, football's back. Football's back now. College has been on, for the past few weeks, but the NFL begins on Thursday, the Texans and Chiefs, so be sure to tune in for those live reactions. Play-by-play, aerial shot of Orlando, Florida. Hashtag WWE NXT when you share on social media. Full Sail University, Full Sail Live. And now here's your Mercedes Martinez promo backstage by Cage. And this is just hyping up the Rhea Ripley Mercedes Martinez cage fight. That's actually not even a cage that you're holding on to, it's just a fence. It's the side of the cage. Shock the system. This should be Roderick Strong and Killian Dane. And Strong, honestly, Bobby Fish. No Kyle O'Reilly. The UE's been, sort of all over the place as of late the past few months. They sort of haven't all been together all at once, but Strong to begin with, and he still shouldn't be a part of the Undisputed Era, because to begin with, he wasn't an original member. Bobby Fish got hurt. I've been over it 10 times before. Because when I saw NXT for the first time in December 17, videos from that event along with other professional wrestling events right here on the channel, be sure to go check them out. Strong was in a triple threat match with Andrade, who is your current NXT champion at that point in time, after defeating Drew McIntyre. And then McIntyre that spring after WrestleMania got called to the main roster, and then it was a 2-year road to become WWE champion. And now McIntyre getting back on Randy Orton last night with a few Claymore kicks, 3 to say the least, as Orton hit McIntyre with 3 punt kicks a few weeks back on Raw. And then they had the ambulance segment, and then McIntyre actually came out to Monday Night Raw last night inside the Thunderdome driving the ambulance. And then throughout the show, they drug out McIntyre getting revenge, getting payback, getting retribution, so to speak, on Randy Orton before the WWE Championship match on Sunday, September 27th at Clash of Champions. They also drug out Raw Underground last night with Kevin Owens and Aleister Black, which I actually liked. That wasn't bad. I thought Raw Underground last night was probably the best Raw Underground that they've had so far to date. But it was a triple threat match that December of 17, almost 3 years ago now. Hard to believe. It was Andrade, your NXT champion, Roderick Strong, and Adam Cole, who had just signed with the company with Fish and O'Reilly that August. NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 2 or 3. Bell rings, match underway, Roderick Strong, Killian Dane. But then that March, and this is when the Pat McAfee, Adam Cole story started, because they were in Indianapolis at the show, social media, then afterwards, they went at it. Fish got hurt that show, blew his knee out, really hasn't been the same since. I mean, he's come back and, you know, he's done all right for himself, but he's not what he was before, in my eyes at least. And so to keep, rather than having Cole by himself or in a tag team with just Kyle O'Reilly, they keep Undisputed Era as a 3-team faction and have Strong basically replace Bobby Fish, but then when Fish returns, have it become a 4-man stable. So I've never liked Roderick Strong. He's a good wrestler, but he's another Austin Theory combo. It'd be a perfect duo. I mean, hell, they sort of look alike too. So Roderick Strong just an older Austin Theory, and Austin Theory is just a younger Roderick Strong. Going back to the other singles match that really didn't interest me earlier either, along with this. And, you know, Bronson Reed won that. Killian Dane's probably going to win this, unless Bobby Fish interferes and Strong picks up the win, you know, one way or another. But, I mean, should still be interesting to say the least. Get back to these notifications here real quick. Yeah, Billy Donovan out as Thunder head coach. Finn Balor NXT champion. And also Randy Couture injured in an ATV accident. So that's breaking news. UFC Hall of Famer and girlfriend injured in an ATV accident, however, expected to make a full recovery from their injuries. So that's a good sign. That's some good news. Also, Von Miller, Denver Bronco defensive linebacker, suffered an ankle injury in practice this afternoon and will be getting an MRI, to determine if he will play. Von Miller may miss season. And that's not going to be good for the Denver Broncos by any means. Having to go up against, in your same division, the AFC West, 2 times a year against the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. The Vegas Raiders will with a new quarterback and Tyrod Taylor, who's been around, but then you also have a rookie QB and Justin Herbert out of Oregon. The Chargers, no more Phillip Rivers, going to have a down year. And normally, though, as we see the Bill Belichick Subway commercial, cutting off the sleeves of the guy that was eating a hamburger. It's pretty funny. Normally when the Chargers are supposed to be good, they suck. Whenever they're supposed to be good, or whenever they're supposed to be bad, they're good. So could be one of those years. But my NFL preview is in fact out right here on the channel, so be sure to go check that out. We'll get more into the NFL and football in general this upcoming weekend, so be sure to tune back in for more live reactions, play-by-play. But yeah, some scary news with Matt Hardy, and then now Randy Couture in an ATV accident. So hopefully he'll have.
Dan Wilder tweeted, got an email from Untucked. Dude, every shirt's an Untucked shirt right now. Mr. Wilbur, I just don't know if that's true. Every man deserves for a perfectly fitted Untucked that falls at just the right length. However, due to production limitations, we can't make enough Untucked shirts for every man on Earth. Lots of men are still wearing poorly fitted traditional shirts. Keeps me up. Don't miss out on our sale, happening now at Untucked stores and untucked.com.
Strongest men in NXT also, but talking about strength, Killian Dane, they're just raw. Cover, crossbody, and wow! There is not much left in the tank. He smells blood here. And you hear Bobby Fish on the outside trying to help out Roderick Strong, but it is not working. Not helping Strong out. Roderick Strong desperately.
NXT obviously does not care about this match with Killian Dane and Roderick Strong because they go to a commercial break, but not a split screen commercial, as they've done with every other match so far. Here tonight, NXT Super Tuesday once again started for any technical difficulties.
Dane could be out. Strong into the cover. And Killian Dane put out by Strong. Bradley did the undisputed era fight alone, and they came up trucks tonight with that assistance from Bobby Fish.
Still to come, I would think we'll go back to the Gargano household, and then we'll get the cage match with Rhea and Mercedes Martinez. We got but you know, like I said, so far to this point, it's been a good show, minus the couple matches that I'm not really interested in. Undisputed Era. Is that the same baseball bat that NXT's Tony Khan had earlier? Robert Stone, the steel pipe. I don't get why Maverick, you know, came out though and attacked the Undisputed Era after they were attacking Killian Dane. That makes no sense unless they're going to have a tag team match with these two now later on, say next week or in a couple weeks. So now Killian Dane standing tall after the loss with the baseball bat, steel pipe, driving them off.
As you mentioned like several weeks ago, this time it's Drake Maverick coming to the aid of Killian Dane.
Maverick was another one of those that was cut, but then they re-signed him for some unknown reason. Have a feud with these two. They're teasing that a little bit, it looks like. Because Drake Maverick goes after Killian Dane now. No, he just stops him. Dane back in the ring. Wants to shake hands. Drake Maverick wants to shake hands. And a big right hand from Killian Dane knocking out Drake Maverick. Killian Dane, a heel. He's been in a singles run up on the main roster, which was a disgrace. And then Wolf goes back to NXT UK. He's a part of Imperium. And then Eric Young gets cut. Nikki Cross is up on the main roster with Alexa Bliss. So if any of that got cut out because of the buffer, because of the disconnect.
You know what? I need something else. You do that to me in my house.
Lettuce at Tegan. Tegan with a Tegan with a water to Candace, and then, well, the Garganos are going to have to buy a new TV now as well. Gargano got in the middle, and then Tegan FU to Johnny Wrestling, dumped the bowl of spaghetti on top. That bad. The TV didn't get damaged that bad. They made it look worse than what it was. But somebody threw the remote, I think Candace, yeah, threw the remote at Tegan, who ducked and then ran out of the house, and the remote hit the TV and shattered the screen. With Candace and Tegan moving forward. Up next, Rhea Ripley, Mercedes Martinez, Battle of the Badasses, Steel Cage match, NXT Super Tuesday 2. As I was saying, if it's getting cut out, if it, is doing what it's doing with the technology difficulties, it is what it is. Tough shit. There's not really anything I can do about it. So that's why you got to tune in and watch live, folks, rather than watching on playback. But I understand. I get it.
You wash your hands every day, but what about your nose, the body's air filter? Novage uses powered suction to clean your nose and flush out dangerous germs. And it relieves congestion without drugs. More than 1 billion sold. Novage. Clean nose, healthy life.
Why wouldn't you choose the one with antioxidant vitamin C? Choose Fizzy Hard Seltzer.
Do you push 3 or 4 or more migraine days a month?
Mom, are you okay to play? Absolutely. Let's see what's inside.
Imagine what you can do with more migraine-free days. When you're able to help prevent migraine days with Emgality, imagine the possibilities. In the first place, it is designed to work for 30 days and nights. Emgality cut the number of monthly migraine days by 50% or more for some people. Don't use if allergic to Emgality. Allergic reactions such as itching, rash, hives, and trouble breathing can occur even days after using. Common side effects include injection site reactions. Ask your doctor about Emgality. You can access doctors from home with telemedicine.
Don't beg. What?
Into mouth-watering meals. Veggies taste amazing with North. The time is coming for us to get out and go again. To visit all the places we didn't know meant so much. But we're all going at our own speed. At Enterprise, peace of mind starts with our complete clean pledge, curbside rentals, and low-touch transactions. With so many vehicles of so many kinds, you can count on us to help you get everywhere you want to go. Again, whenever you're ready, we're ready for you. Enterprise.
Do you think you are?
I'm Stormfront. I'm maneuver.
No.
Jesus lowest $12 and save up to 40% off championship titles. Only at WWEshop.com.
Now backstage as we return here tonight on WWE NXT Super Tuesday 2. Your NXT North American Champion Punishment Martinez, now Damian Priest. It'll be Damian Priest, Timothy Thatcher for the title at some point down the road. But Priest with a interview backstage here tonight on NXT. Hashtag WWE NXT. Once again, when you share on social media, like, follow, and subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button, chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated as well.
My usual celebration, which obviously you're always invited to come join the party forever.
Damian Priest, Timothy Thatcher, NXT North American Championship match now next week. on NXT. That should be good. All right, so Raw next week has 2 championship matches. We'll see what EW does tomorrow night and next Thursday night. They'll be head-to-head with Week 2 of the NFL Thursday Night Football. But the big dog, Roman Reigns, after he, well, also next week on NXT, it'll be Io Shirai and Shotzi Blackheart. A non-title match, just singles. That should be good. But on Friday Night SmackDown, we got the big dog Roman Reigns returning. He's your new Universal Champion. He's also made the switch from the big dog to become a tribal chief, leaving his yard to an island. So the future holds for him as well on WWE Thunderdome. However, tonight, right now, NXT main event for NXT Super Tuesday 2, Rhea Ripley, Mercedes Martinez, a steel cage fight, a steel cage match. There's NXT's Tony Khan and Robert Stone as well, walking Mercedes Martinez to the ring. All he is a joke. But at Clash of Champions, it'll be Roman Reigns and one half of the Usos for the Universal title. Reigns is for sure going to win. He's going to beat up his own family in the process. And then, yeah, more so than not, the other Uso brother will come out. And then Hell in a Cell, they'll probably have a 2-on-1 handicap match inside Hell in a Cell, you would think, for the Universal title with Reigns and the Usos. Just to make Reigns look even stronger than at that point. I don't think you can get any higher from a big dog to a tribal chief. Tribal chief to, I don't think that there's anything higher on up than that. I mean, when you're chief, you're the king. So Mercedes was still entering the ring. She was actually grabbing a few steel chairs and a table from underneath the ring, throwing them into the ring for the steel cage match against Rhea Ripley. And then Rhea came out and attacked from behind. She just ripped her coat off, threw it at Robert Stone. So the match will officially get underway here in a second. Rhea's probably going to set that table up ringside, and they're going to have a high spot. Now she's going to roll it in the ring. I was going to say maybe a high spot ringside, but the high spot will be in the ring. It looks like they'll set the table up somewhere and jump off the top of the cage, close things out. But speaking of chiefs and kings, well, your Prince Finn Balor is your new NXT champion, so he's now reigning supreme in NXT as the big dog, your tribal chief is on SmackDown, and Drew McIntyre, your Scottish psychopath, still WWE champion on Monday Night Raw. Bell rings, match underway. Rhea Ripley, Mercedes Martinez. Both these women actually competed in the Mae Young Classic for NXT over the past few years. Mercedes Martinez in full control here early on with some rights and lefts and chops. Now steel chair, and Rhea moves out of the way. Kick to the midsection from Rhea to Mercedes Martinez. Eminem with NXT's Tony Khan ringside, and Eminem thrown off the inside of the steel cage. Rhea now in full control here early on.
Certainly is the force, guys. This night started with the glory of Finn Balor becoming the new NXT champion, and it's going to end. NXT Super Tuesday 2 will end with nothing but pure destruction inside the steel cage.
We'll have to wait for an official announcement if NXT is going to, in fact, leave Wednesday nights and go to Tuesdays. I mean, hell, when they first started, they were on Thursdays. Then they went to Wednesdays. Then AEW comes in, they're also on Wednesdays. NXT could be going to Tuesdays, because really, if Wednesday's not working, they can't go to Thursday right now because they're going to get beat by Thursday Night Football. Tuesday nights would work, but then that's going to hurt Impact. So TNA Impact could go to, Thursday nights or maybe even, Saturday nights for that matter. But then whenever there's a takeover special or an AEW pay-per-view, they're going to get screwed that way too. So, but the thing is, look at Ring of Honor. They're on, weekends around here, at least for myself, around 1 a.m. But depending on where you're at, they're on, at any point in time, any day of the week. But they haven't really, honestly, done anything, since March either. It's been WWE, AEW, and then, TNA, started back up, with Slammiversary now, almost 2 months ago, and the Good Brothers are there. So their tag team division's good with the North, and then Eddie Edwards just dropped the TNA Impact World Heavyweight Championship to Eric Young, so Impact looking good. But if NXT goes Tuesday nights full time, nobody's honestly going to care about. Unfortunately, yeah, but nobody's going to care about Impact Wrestling anymore, which it is what it is. But that's why you got to have a couple TVs or a DVR of some sorts to be able to watch stuff. But it is 2020, so if you don't, get with the damn times. Robert Stone yelling to Rhea, "How does it feel?" Just shut the hell up. You're nothing spectacular. You're a joke. You're supposed to be a comedic fraud, a comedic double, if you will, of Tony Khan from AEW. That's all you're supposed to be. And once they think, you've run your course, then you're done. And the Robert Stone brand will be no more. Mercedes 1-2 kick out from Maria after a power slam on a steel chair. And okay, yeah, they didn't care about the Killian Dan Roderick Strong match by any means, because every match now, including this one, we've gone to a split screen commercial. That did not go to a split screen commercial. That went to a full blown 4-alarm holiday emergency commercial. So yeah, we're gonna have the happiest Tuesday night here for NXT and potentially full time, some point down the road. So I wouldn't mind it because you won't have to watch them head to head, but I've watched them head to head since last October. I've watched them side by side, both at the same time. But yeah, it probably would be a little bit better to have them, especially because all they're worried about is
And right now, getting set up the savings on Bear Premium paints and stains exclusively at Home Depot.
We got our WWE going for the inside line, but let's be in the first place.
Get extra napkins when you order a hot, juicy
like it'll all figure itself out. It'll work itself out. Like just it seems like that's all they care about. Damn ratings. Like, no, don't. I understand because of sponsors, I get it, but no, don't. Jump to calm the hell down and be yourself, and do what you're gonna do. And like I said, it'll work itself out if you do put on a good show, and people start tuning in all the damn time. But yeah, it would be better because then you'd have wrestling on, 4 of the 5 nights of the week, through the week, not including the weekend. But then when there's, pay-per-views, you got, your takeover specials and then your pay-per-views on back to Thursday because they've been on every night of the week before. They can do that. I'm like, you're going to have wrestling on 7 nights a week, which people are going to get drawn out by that, though, too. They're going to get tired. And then, okay, I understand if you're worrying about ratings then because nobody's watching, because there's too much on. But that's completely different. You just do what you do, put on a good show, it'll work itself out. You don't need to worry. But people like to talk on social media. That's been a major problem, especially when it gets everyone, in quarantine or just losing their goddamn opera from Rhea Ripley to Mercedes Martinez. Both women now down and out. And we got a few minutes left now here on NXT Super Tuesday 2 before they'll go back to Wednesday nights next week, and then maybe then or within the next month or so they'll make an official announcement if they are going to go to Tuesday nights. Like I said, I wouldn't mind. It'd probably be better. But then that's them pulling out and hey.
Martinez trying to fire back. Short forearms under the jaw. Martinez able to push Ripley off. And then up and down. Spine buster. But so much damage done to Mercedes Martinez. Not able to capitalize quickly.
Take a look at this great wiggle in the spine buster from Mercedes Martinez. Unfortunately,
Rhea Ripley looking for a submission inside the steel cage with one arm. Rhea Ripley is bending Mercedes Martinez.
Being many superstars with this maneuver.
Oh, Martinez! Quick shots to the right thigh, breaking the submission. The brutality throughout this matchup. Kendo stick to the spine. Followed by another. And you heard Ripley screaming in pain.
Stone is just dangling.
And face first now, Ripley into the steel. And a third off the top. Mercedes Martinez willing to destroy herself.
Stick with a few shots to Mercedes Martinez and then to him, and then Mercedes comes from behind, hits a few shots to Rhea. They hit a neck breaker off the top rope, and now Robert Stone still sitting on the top of the cage. Cover, 1, 2, kick out by Rhea. Match continues. Should be going home here very shortly. Like I said, only a few minutes left here for NXT this evening. And once again, sorry for any technical difficulties. It seems once again it's doing it a lot once again this evening compared to normal. So it's technology though, folks. Get used to it. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do if it buffers, if it disconnects and reconnects. All I can do is hit reconnect and it reconnects. Give it a few seconds, and we're back to normal. And like I've said before, that's why, sometimes I repeat myself a few times on a few things just to make sure, everything's in. But then sometimes if I even do that and it still gets cut out, there's nothing I can do at that point because, like I said, it was brought to my attention. Sometimes been getting cut out on the processing and upload the live. So the table now set up in the corner. Rhea sitting on the top rope. Here comes Mercedes Martinez. Maybe a vertical superplex off the top rope through the table.
Martinez now trying to, looks like transition. And Ripley almost hoisted up onto Martinez's shoulders.
Ripley holding on for dear life here, Vic.
Rhea with a headbutt.
Headbutt rocking Martinez. A second headbutt. Martinez is out. Ripley now. Oh no.
Rhea going to go for the riptide here.
Can Rhea Ripley hit the
Through the table. Rhea Ripley with the riptide through the table on M&M Mercedes Martinez. Cover, 1, 2, 3. Rhea Ripley, your winner tonight in tonight's NXT Super Tuesday 2 Steel Cage Mercedes Martinez. And that should do it for NXT this evening. With Rhea picking up the win. We got about a minute left. And And next week NXT back on Wednesday night with a few championship matches. Congo Imperium, along with Io Shirai and Shotzi Blackheart. A few replays now of this main event match. But Rhea Ripley is NXT's biggest badass, defeating Mercedes Martinez in tonight's Steel Cage match. Main event for NXT Super Tuesday 2. But as mentioned as well, Finn Balor no longer a prince. He's now king. He's your new NXT champion. Once again defeating Adam Cole. Baby, Finn Balor, your new NXT champion. Thank you for tuning in and watching. Be sure to tune back in tomorrow night for more professional wrestling live reactions play for AEW Dynamite, the post fallout from AEW All Out this past weekend. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Also, be sure to tune back in this weekend as well for football live reactions with the NFL kicking off on Thursday night with the Houston Texans and your defending Super Bowl 54 champion, Kansas City Chiefs, Finn Balor, now king, as your new NXT champion. AEW live reactions, play-by-play tomorrow night. Hopefully you'll tune in. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below.